Hello everyone. I hope all of you can hear me. There was some technical issue. We got delayed because of that. So let me quickly see if you guys can hear me. Let me know in the chat box everyone. आवाज अगर आ रही है तो chat box में जरूर बताना. Okay. So I can see a lot of you now. I think I'm good to go. Okay. Yes. Now I can see Srishti, Tanishka, Pragya, SSR fan, Tanu, SSR fan, I think you're Nityank, right? Yeah, Nityank, Mahita, Tanu, Vishal, Muji. Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. थोड़ा सा delay हो गया because of technical issue. Okay. Yes, Pragya. Hello, Surbhi, Vanshika, Vishal, Akanksha, Srishti, बनी. गुड आफ्टरनून. ओके, तो पहले एक चीज बता देता हूँ. ये सेशन आई थिंक इज ऑन पॉपुलर डिमांड. बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स ये सेशंस हम कर चुके हैं पहले भी, बट अ लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स वांटेड टू हैव अ सेशन वंस अगेन, एंड दैट इज व्हाई वी आर डूइंग इट ऑन पॉपुलर डिमांड काइंड ऑफ, राइट. तो पहले भी ये सेशंस हो चुके हैं, बट बिकॉज स्टूडेंट्स वांटेड इट वंस अगेन बिकॉज द पेपर्स आर नियर, मॉक्स दे रहे हैं एंड दे फेस प्रॉब्लम्स. So in the limited time that I have, I'll try to help you as much as possible. But very clearly, you need a regular classroom setup for this. एक रेगुलर क्लास के अंदर 2-3 घंटे की क्लासेस होती है, तो आप ज्यादा सीखते हो. तो उसके लिए हमारे रेगुलर कोर्सेज हैं ऑफ कोर्स, बट दिस इज जस्ट अ काइंड ऑफ, आई विल ट्राई टू हेल्प यू एज मच एज आई कैन. ओके, ब्रॉडली कोशिश करूंगा, क्योंकि काफी बड़ा टॉपिक है ना. टोन ऑफ द आरसी काफी बड़ा टॉपिक है और इम्पोर्टेंट भी है. तो सब कुछ तो नहीं सिखा सकते, बट जितनी कोशिश करूंगा, जितनी हो सकता है सिखा दूंगा. ओके. Swarna, Swarnavu Malik. Yes, I am. Okay. Yes. So, before I go on, let me quickly tell you, Nation 25 याद रखना सबके सब. Flat 25% discount मिलेगा. Coupon code is Nation 25 on our live classes and mock tests. तो अगर CLAT की प्रिपरेशन का सोच रहे हो, this is the right time to go forward and pick up one of our courses. 25% flat off. Nation 25 is the coupon code. Republic Day celebration तो बनता है ना. Now, if you're thinking of a batch for MHCET, ALET, SLAT, BLAT, we have launched batch number 2 for it. This will cover primarily MHCET, ALET, SLAT, BLAT. तो ये काफी customized course है, जबरदस्त धमाकेदार. So if you have not started any batches yet, you're welcome here. If you want a batch which is crash course and you are looking for a course from us, then very clearly you can come and join us for our crash course. Okay, free trials are on. आप free trial attend कर सकते हो. You'll be taught by the best of the best faculty members possible, and सारी fireworks मिलेंगे आपको, salient features मिलेंगे, regular classes and doubt sessions and motivation sessions and tests and assessment tests and whatnot. तो सब कुछ मिलेगा उसके अंदर. If you are thinking of a course on legal affairs and current affairs, you should go ahead and join this. This is the booster course that we have. Batch 2 launch हो गया है. You'll be taught by the best in the industry. Nivedita and Abhimanyu will take the batches. तो बहुत ही जबरदस्त है. इसके अंदर you would be taught from the basics concepts in these two fields, legal affairs and current affairs. You would be given interactive doubt sessions. You would get progress assessment tests, and of course alumni होने का फायदा भी NLUs का आपको मिलेगा, क्योंकि आपके टीचर्स वहां से उन्होंने पढ़ाई की है, तो वो भी आपको इसके अंदर मिल जाएगा. तो अभी तक अगर सोच रहे हो तो और वेट मत करो. नेशन 25 यूज करना है, कूपन 25% ऑफ भी मिल रहा है, बेस्ट कोर्सेज मिल रहे हैं, तो और क्या चाहिए लाइफ में, है ना. इफ यू आर इफ एन अर्ली बर्ड, क्लैट 23 का सोच रहे हो और तुमने अभी से शुरू करने का सोचा है, तो वी हैव लॉन्च्ड आवर 7th बैच, व्हिच मींस अ लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स आर ऑलरेडी प्रिपेयरिंग. ओके, क्लैट 23 के लिए बैच है, बट क्लैट 23 विल हैपन दिस ईयर इन दिसंबर, यू नो दैट. तो इसकी भी फ्री ट्रायल अवेलेबल है, आप जा सकते हो और अटेंड कर सकते हो. यू वुड गेट द बेस्ट सपोर्ट from our side. The features are all path breaking, all the amazing features that we have. Concept classes from beginning, day wise study plan, NLU alumni का guidance, interactive doubt sessions and motivation sessions and mocks, analysis, सब कुछ ही मिलेगा. तो जबरदस्त सही सीन है. अभी तक ज्वाइन नहीं किया है तो आई डोंट नो व्हाट यू वेटिंग फॉर. अब तो 26 जैन का फायदा भी है ना. तो लेट मी सी और कौन आ गया भाई. स्वर्णो मलिक, आई थिंक मैंने आंसर कर दिया. स्नेहल वाजपेयी, आई थिंक यू हैव कम फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम। बाकी तो मुझे दिख रहा है कि काफी सारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं जो रेगुलर आते हैं, बट कुछ लोग नए भी दिख रहे हैं। ओके, आकांक्षा, थैंक यू। ओके, दैट्स नाइस। ऑल राइट। Okay, so some of you might be thinking, should you join 2000? If you're a 2023 student, should you watch this session? Should you be in this session? बिल्कुल, because CLAT तुम 22 में दो या 23 में, बात तो बराबर ही है, क्वेश्चन तो सिमिलर ही आते हैं, तो आपको ये क्लास जरूर करनी चाहिए। And if you're watching me after the session is over, then also it's going to be equally useful. तो छोड़ना मत, बिल्कुल वॉच करना। ओके, Swarno, yes, I can see that. That's correct. Udeshi, no. All right. वैष्णव गरुड़ पाटिल, वेलकम, बहुत बहुत स्वागत सबका। चलो शुरू करते हैं। तो क्योंकि ज्यादा टाइम बचा नहीं हमारे पास, टाइम की भारी कमी है ना, तो दिस इज अ क्वेश्चन यू गाइज आर गोइंग टू फेस वेरी वेरी लाइकली। आपको ये क्वेश्चन फेस करने को मिलेगा। एंड रिमेंबर, इवन इफ यू डू नॉट गेट a direct question, suppose you don't get a direct question, no problem. Tone as a topic is very important because tone helps you interpret what people are saying. Yes or no? इंटरप्रेट करने के लिए टोन का ज्ञान बहुत जरूरी है। इफ यू डू नॉट अंडरस्टैंड टोन, यू माइट नॉट इंटरप्रेट properly what people are saying. Let me give you an example. Suppose somebody says welcome to you. Now the word welcome means स्वागत है आपका, स्वागतम, but intention क्या है इसके पीछे? What is the person thinking? Whether the person really is welcoming you, or is the person miffed at you? Is the person not happy with you? Is the person being sarcastic? Is the person being angry at you? We have no idea unless we pay attention to a lot of things around the word welcome. Yes or no? The word welcome in its single usage cannot tell you the author's main idea behind it. Please remember everyone, any word, any sentence in isolation will not make much sense. उसके आसपास जब तक और चीजें ना हो, you cannot figure out what that word typically means. Yes or no? Correct? अब क्लैट के एग्जाम में बिल्कुल गड़बड़ करके घर जाओगे और घर वाले बोलेंगे वेलकम, और सपोज यू सिंपली डोंट अपीयर इन क्लैट पेपर, उस दिन जाके मूवी देख ली और घर पहुंचे और घर वालों को पता चल जाए और वो कहते हैं वेलकम, तो वेरी क्लियरली आपका स्वागत वैसा नहीं होने वाला जैसा तुम्हें उम्मीद है ना? एंड दैट इज वाई टोन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। तो टोन होता क्या है? व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज अ टोन? लेट मी क्विकली टेल यू। टोन in written composition is the attitude of a writer towards a subject. When you do not write your CLAT paper and you watch a movie and you go home, and जब घर वाले बोलते हैं, when your family says welcome, the tone will tell you the attitude of your family members towards you. The tone, now there the tone would mean the voice, right? इस तरह से बोल रहे हैं, but it will also need some more indicators to make sense. You should not get happy that okay मैं देखो CLAT छोड़ के आ रहा हूँ, I did not write CLAT, I watched a movie and I'm home, people are saying welcome, means they're very happy and you start dancing. ऐसा मत करना, because the tone will tell you the actual attitude. The word may not tell you the actual attitude, and that is why, remember, you can infer the tone of the person, of the author, from the style or the way the author expresses oneself through words. You have to pay attention to a lot of things to figure out the actual tone. Otherwise, you can't, right? And that is why, remember everyone, why is tone important? Tone is important because it tells you how the author feels about the given situation. So I'll give you a very simple thing to remember. Shortcut yaad rakhna. Tone questions basically ask you to imagine the face of the author when the author writes that sentence. जब वो सेंटेंस लिखता है ना ऑथर, उसका फेस कैसा था, ये सवाल होता है टोन के अंदर. So essentially remember, the tone questions ask you to imagine the face of the author when the person wrote that sentence, wrote that paragraph, wrote that passage, wrote that book, wrote that epic, whatever. Correct? You get the point? तो अब बड़ा आसान काम है. सपोज तुमने एक सेंटेंस पढ़ा, और लेट्स टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ वेलकम। तुमने क्लैट मिस कर दी, जाके मूवी देख ली, घर वाले वेलकम कब बोलते हैं। अब वेलकम जब बोल रहे हैं तो उनका फेस इमेजिन करो। तुमने क्लैट मिस किया है, मूवी देख रहे थे, उनका फेस कैसा होगा? प्यार से भरा हुआ, राइट, कभी खुशी कभी गम, मम्मी जैसा, वो आपका स्वागत कर रहे हैं, ऐसा होगा क्या? जस्ट लेट मी नो इन द चैट बॉक्स एवरीबॉडी। ऐसा होगा कुछ नहीं ना? हाँ, बिल्कुल सही नित्यांक, करेक्ट। सो if you understand tone in very short, please remember tone is basically the imaginary emoji on the author's face. ऑथर के चेहरे पे कौन सा इमोजी है उस सेंटेंस को लिखते वक्त, ये टोन हमें बताता है. And why is it important? Because if you don't understand the tone, you will misunderstand the entire statement. You might misunderstand the entire paragraph. You might misunderstand the entire passage. Because आप तो words को पकड़ोगे, you would pay attention to only the words, whereas you have to pay attention to a lot of other things to figure out the author's actual intention. Yes or no? Correct? And that is why, remember everyone, you need to do this. I'll make you do this. You have to read a paragraph or sentence or whatever is given and imagine which emoji will fit the author's face. That is what a tone question is all about. And this will help you understand what the author is actually trying to say and not get puzzled, confused by the word usage. Correct? And that is why when you are doing tone questions, please remember you have to pay attention to three things. Okay? बट सबसे जरूरी पहला है क्या है? मैं आपको एग्जांपल देता हूं. मैं अभी क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूं, प्लीज आंसर. सपोज क्लैट के बाद तुम्हें ये मैसेज आया अपने फैमिली से. ऑन योर व्हाट्सएप यू रिसीव दिस मैसेज फ्रॉम योर फैमिली आफ्टर क्लैट रिजल्ट्स आर आउट. ओके, नाउ टेल मी व्हाट इज द इंटेंशन ऑफ द फैमिली. व्हाट इज द फैमिली टेलिंग यू? आर दे जेन्युइनली हैप्पी or are they not? Please tell me in the chat box everyone. जल्दी से बताना. Pragya, yes you are definitely. So they are saying congratulations, है ना? So Akanksha says yeah, Tanishka says laudatory, praiseworthy, Udeshi says topper, Alia is not sure about it. Alia is I think not sure. Uh, Nityang says Bejati, Alia says no, Movies Malik says okay, is laughing, not happy. अच्छा किया है तुमने, happy. Sambit says that they are not, maybe sir, sarcastic. Now see, look at the beauty of this. सब ध्यान दो. I have written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 words, correct? And they are very easy words in English language. Congratulations on your CLAT score. You are a genius. Look at the interpretation. Half, one third of the class is saying they are happy. One third is saying pata nahi. One third is saying they are sarcastic. Now you see the problem with interpretation, and that is why tone is important. And for understanding the tone of the author, the first thing you have to always pay attention to is context. Please remember everyone, without context nothing makes sense. बिना context के किसी भी sentence, किसी भी word का कोई मतलब नहीं होता. Yes or no? Correct. Without context किसी भी चीज का मतलब नहीं होता. Now suppose I tell you that you got 120 out of 150 in CLAT, and this year the cutoff for, let's say, Bangalore was, just a second, the cutoff for Bangalore was, let's say, uh, 104. Now what is the tone of the family? बताओ टोन क्या है? 104 पे बैंगलोर मिल रहा है, तुम्हें 120 आए हैं, तो ऑब्वियसली वुड से हाँ फिर तो तारीफ ही हो रही है, फिर तो मजा आ गया, फिर तो घर पे ढोल वोल बजेंगे, तारीफ हो रही है, मस्त, नो प्रॉब्लम. बट सपोज तुम्हारा स्कोर 30 है आउट ऑफ 150. अब बताना जरा, अब इसका क्या मतलब है? इफ यू हैव गॉट 130 आउट 30 मार्क्स आउट ऑफ 150, and they are saying congratulations on your CLAT score, you are a genius. Now look at the change because of context. You understand what I'm saying? अब 30 पे अगर ये डायलॉग आया है, if you have gotten this message at a 30 score, you can be pretty sure that you are going to get flying something or the other from the family. Yes or no? Everyone? Correct? Okay. So, correct. Very good. पिटाई, sarcastic, lampooning. क्या बात है? जबरदस्त. Aggressive. Aggressive नहीं? हाँ. Lampooning. Yes. Very good. पिटाई तो इफेक्ट है, टोन नहीं है, बट होगा जरूर. कैविलिंग, भूमिका. ओके, दैट्स गुड. बेलिंडा, रिडिकुलिंग. यस. मजाक बना रहे हैं. ओके, दैट्स नाइस. So, I hope you get the basic point. What is the first thing you always pay attention to? The first thing you always pay attention to is context. Without context, nothing makes sense. Number one. Number two, you have to also pay attention to the types of words like adjectives, verbs, and adverbs, and sometimes punctuation marks also used by the author to understand the tone of the author. Yes or no? I hope you know that tone questions are another way of testing your vocab. Tone question कुछ होता नहीं है, basically vocab test होता है, in a way, right? So people say CLAT does not ask vocab questions. Last 2 years they have not done directly. 2020 they did some, but remember tone questions are nothing else but vocab questions only. I think you guys know that already, correct? So you should pay attention to adjective, verbs, and adverbs. Without that, it's very difficult to figure out the tone of the author, correct? For example, suppose I read this small paragraph, okay, and I want to find out what is the tone of the author. Can you guys read and tell me quickly what is the tone of the author in this passage? You have to do that. 30 seconds का काम है, ज्यादा मुश्किल नहीं है. जल्दी से बताना क्या होगा टोन इसके अंदर. एवरीवन, जल्दी से, है ना? चलो, लेट मी सी. तनु सिंह, आई जस्ट सॉ योर मैसेज. यस, यू डिड अ गुड जॉब देयर. यस, बिल्कुल सही बात है. एब्सोल्युटली. जल्दी से बताना. आलिया हुसैन, दैट्स करेक्ट. एब्सोल्युटली. Tone questions are nothing else but vocab questions. ये याद रखना. If your vocab is weak, you would suffer in tone. Or else you prepare the list. I have a list today. I'll share with you. February, no idea. डी 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 डी, क्या बात. बहुत बढ़िया, शानदार. सब डी कह रहे हैं तो सही ही होगा, है कि नहीं? फोटो से भी काफी मदद मिल रही है मुन्ना भाई की, है ना? Now look at this. ये क्या लोचा होता है मेरे साथ? मुन्ना wondered. First, I forget to fill up the platform. Then my friend Circuit fights with me on CR questions, and now I get all CR questions wrong. Now, you might think that the person is funny. Why? Because you know Munna Bhai's character, and I'm basically kind of giving you some idea that this is this Munna Bhai and stuff like that. आपको लग सकता है कि फनी है या फ्लिपेंट. फ्लिपेंट इज लाइक नॉन सीरियस. नॉन सीरियस. आपको ये भी लग सकता है कि ये इंसान नॉन सीरियस है, बट इफ यू लुक एट इट, ये इंसान बेसिकली क्या कर रहा है? ये बेसिकली दुखी है. कह रहा है यार मेरे साथ ही क्यों होता है ऐसा. और फिर वो 3 एग्जाम्पल देता है उन सिचुएशंस की जहां पे उसके साथ गड़बड़ हो रहा है कुछ. करेक्ट. नाउ व्हाट इज पॉइनेंट? पॉइनेंट इज सैड, पेंसिव, मेलांकोलिक, राइट, ग्लूमी, ब्लीक, थोड़ा सा दुखी दुखी वाला सिचुएशन. सेल्फ पिटिंग ऑन द अदर हैंड मीन्स जब आपको अपने आप पे दया आती है. ये इंसान अपने आप को बेसिकली दया का पात्र समझता है. दिस पर्सन थिंक्स दैट nothing is going right in his life. Now how do I know? I am paying attention to adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. Correct. For example, this person says wondered, so he is wondering, he is thinking aloud maybe, or in his mind. Then he says मैं पहले भूल गया, फिर मैं लड़ गया उससे, और फिर मेरे क्वेश्चंस भी रॉन्ग हुए. सारी नेगेटिव चीजें हो रही है. So if I look at the Verbs here, all of them are negative. And now remember, sometimes we are told that in tone questions, always pay attention to adjectives. Not only on adjectives, you have to pay attention to verbs and adverbs also. So if a sentence says Ram slammed the door versus Ram closed the door, slammed very clearly shows that the mood of the author is different than when the person says close the door. I hope you understand. Slam basically shows the person is probably angry, not happy, something like that, or is in a hurry or something like that. But close is a very formal thing, very nice thing. So उससे भी आपको idea लग सकता है author के दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है. Tone basically helps you find out what is going on in the author's head. Correct? And all of you got it right. Very good. Well done. So what is the third thing I should pay attention to? The third thing you should pay attention to is the intensity and degree of word usage. Correct? Word usage के intensity पे ध्यान दो, degree पे ध्यान दो. I hope you understand degree. Degree is, for example, let me give you a case. Look at the word walk. Look at the word jog. Look at the word trot. Look at the word curry, right? Or scamper. Now you would see walk is a normal paced walk, but jog is slightly faster. Trot is even faster. But scamper or scurry is very fast. It's a dash basically. Correct? Usain Bolt type. एकदम तेज. Now if I use these words in increasing degree, then very clearly the author's intention is different, है कि नहीं? Father जब घर आए तो बच्चा trot करके उनकी तरफ भागा. The child trotted towards his father. But if the bacha saw the father and he scampered away from the place, then very clearly scene changes, no? So very clearly, as I use words, my entire intention can change. Author's intention can change. You have to pay attention to these tiny changes. For example, invading army killed hundreds of civilians yesterday. This can look like a neutral sentence. It looks like a factual sentence. But invading army executed, this very clearly looks like an intentional sentence. Yes or no? Second sentence में आप कहना चाहते हो author का intention ये है that the invading army intentionally did that, जानबूझ के मारा है. So very clearly one word change can change the entire tone of the author. Author का expression style अब बिल्कुल अलग बात कर रहा है. But if the author says the invading army butchered hundreds of civilians yesterday, butchered is basically merciless killing. Executed can mean probably they executed the people who were probably of military age, or they were adults, or there was a very methodical approach. But butchered is like left right मार दिया, किसी को नहीं छोड़ा, सबको मार दिया, very merciless तरीके से. I'm just changing one word here and see how the entire sentence changes. The entire intention of the author, intensity of the author changes. तुम्हें इन सब बातों का ध्यान रखना है. And here again, adjective नहीं है. I'm just changing the verb. So let me quickly ask and let me know in the chat, everybody. I hope this point is very clear. सिर्फ adjective पे ध्यान नहीं देना होता है. You have to pay attention to verb and adverb also to understand how the tone changes. So it's not only adjective, which we tend to think generally. I hope this is clear. Correct? Everyone? Yes. Very good. So I can keep on changing words and the entire tone of the author can keep on changing, right? That is why you have to pay attention to every tiny thing. That's what we do in the classes also, you know that, right? You have to pay attention to every single word that is used by the author. Now, as I said, tone questions are nothing else but vocab test question. Now, a lot of students have asked me in the previous classes, in the previous sessions on YouTube, they have done that through the chat box also and the comment box also. So they wanted a list of tones that they must know. Now, very clearly, creating such a list is a little hard because they can be too many tones. But you should know some basic tones. I have the list. You can take screenshots. You can probably write down whatever and use them for your own research purposes. Okay. So what I have done is I have the list ready, but मैंने मीनिंग नहीं डाला, आई हैव नॉट पुट द मीनिंग देयर. I would discuss some of them, but you have to do some basic research on your own so that the serious students get it very clearly. Okay. And remember, guys, you have to know the basic tones for sure. It would help you from vocab angle also, from tone questions angle also, and it would add to your preparation level for sure. कोई doubt नहीं उसके अंदर. So please remember, you have to have the basic idea of the basic tones, right? And you should divide the basic tones into two categories. Now, I know that a lot of times you are told to divide it in three categories, right? So you know that already: positive, negative, and neutral. Now, the problem is, I have seen this, that the number of negative tones is very high. अगर basic tone let's say 70 है, 50 of them would be negative tones. Correct? Now students get very confused. 50 negatives, 10 positive and 10 neutral, and then they get confused between positive and neutral. Correct? So why create so much confusion? What I have done is, or what I generally do is, I categorize them in two parts only: negative and positive or neutral, just two categories. It would help your learning better. So make sure that you always categorize your tones in two parts: negative, neutral, or positive. Neutral positive is almost similar. Descriptive वर्सेस लाउडेटरी. लाउडेटरी इज तारीफ करना, डिस्क्रिप्टिव इज डिस्क्रिप्शन देना. दोनों ही पॉजिटिव न्यूट्रल है, नेगेटिव तो नहीं है. वट एवर इज नॉट नेगेटिव, पुट इट इन पॉजिटिव और न्यूट्रल, राइट? दैट विल हेल्प यू मोर. सो मूवीज मलिक, यस, दैट्स अ गुड सजेशन एक्चुअली, है ना? तनिष्का, यस. तनिष्का जस्ट आस्क्ड मी, लेट मी कंफर्म, 3:30 पे आज मिल रहे हैं फिर से. वी आर मीटिंग एट 3:30 ऑन द ऐप for weird and funny CR questions which have been asked in different exams. Okay, so do see me there as well and download the app if you have not done that. Okay, so let me quickly give you an idea. Let's look at the negative tone words. Now remember, guys, if you have not done the basics like these words, you will be in trouble. It's a good idea to go through and learn about these tones. Because of the timing factor, I could not have gone on and told you all the tones. वो थोड़ा मुश्किल काम है. But just to give you an idea, for example, let's say satire. So satirical tone. So you just learn about it. Satirical tone is when you basically comment in a indirect, in a funny way on something very socially relevant or important. For example, we have satires like George Orwell's An Animal Farm. So that is a satire. That's a book. Mocking, sarcastic. Sarcastic, I think you guys are very well aware of. Now, caustic on the other hand means harsh. Caustic soda होता है ना, जला देता है स्किन को. So caustic is harsh. Acerbic, it comes from the same root जिससे acid बना है. Bitter, harsh. Pejorative, disrespectful, negative. Lament. Now, lament is, I have put it in negative because lament basically means when you regret about not having something, or pachtawa. So it's a negative connotation, right? Now, it can be used in a positive sense also. For example, somebody might say, I lament not working hard. But वो है तो negative, which is in a way the person is thinking in a negative way. Cavil, for example, means to criticize, especially insignificant things. तुम्हारे घर पे somebody you call somebody at your home for dinner, वो खाना वाना खाता है, कहता है बाकी तो ठीक था, लेकिन नमक के डब्बे से नमक नहीं निकल रहा था आसानी से. So the salt thing that you had was not working properly. In the entire thing, you could find that tiny thing which was not working. That's a cavilling approach. If the author is like, talking about very tiny insignificant things, then the person is cavilling, or the person is, his tone is cavilling tone. Bewail is when you cry aloud. You cry over something. That's bewail. Nitpicking is similar to cavilling. So you have to do your own research a bit. थोड़ा सा करना. Spend some time with these words. Vituperative, when you criticize heavily, right? But jingoist is a person who gets into a warmongering thing all the time. मार डालो, काट डालो, फोड़ डालो, उड़ा दो. This person has extreme pride in his country. is always in a war kind of a mood, खुद नहीं जाएगा but war की बात करता रहेगा. That's jingoistic person. So you have to create your own tone list. Like indignant, somebody who is indignant is angry over perceived injustice. उसको लगता है कि चीजें unfair हैं, उसको लगता है चीजें सही नहीं है, and that is why the person is angry. Suppose there is a locality where there is no water for last 3 days, people can be indignant. They are angry because they expect the water to be there. They think it is unfair not to have water. That is why they are indignant. Correct? तो ये थोड़ा सा तुम खुद कर लो और आपको बहुत अच्छा सा टोन का लिस्ट बना सकते हो. लाइक पेडेस्ट्रियन नॉट द पर्सन हु वॉक्स ऑन द रोड, राइट? पेडेस्ट्रियन बेसिकली मीन्स अनओरिजिनल, बोरिंग, कॉमन, totally unexciting, that sense. So you have to create your own tone list also, right? So I have the tone list here. So please take screenshots, but do write them down. It's good idea to have some more synonyms. Trenchant is a negative tone because the person is generally a critic, very strong critic. Harsh, vicious, you understand, belligerent, bellicose. So all these words can fall in the negative category. But remember, I'm not using a very watertight definition for that. Broadly, they are negative. थोड़ा बहुत यहाँ वहाँ आगे पीछे हो सकता है. Some overlap can happen. Correct? तो ये आपको खुद करना पड़ेगा. This is the positive or neutral tone की list. This is just there so that you guys can have some benefit out of it. Correct? So, yes. Now, Pragya says Mamata Didi's vituperative skills. Okay. Sahil say yes, Sahil, that's correct. बहुत बढ़िया. So one thing is very good that you guys are working hard. That I can see. Some of you, not all of you, but some of you. Now remember, some of you might find one or the few words here slightly negative also depending on the situation. So context देखना पड़ता है. But it's a kind of neutral or positive list like didactic. Now didactic basically means when you preach someone morally. Morally किसी को preach करना, ये मत करो, वो मत करो, चोरी मत करो, hard work करो. This is didactic. Now it can you feel like negative also, but essentially the person is saying be morally right. So to that extent it is positive. But you might find it negative also कि यार ये कितना बोर करता है, पूरे टाइम बोलता रहता है. You might feel like that. That is possible. Correct? ऐसा हो सकता है. तो जरा जल्दी से everyone जल्दी से आंसर हो जाए क्विकली. पूरे पैराग्राफ का टोन बता रहे हैं. देखो हमारे पास टाइम नहीं है ना, एंड आई हैव ट्राइड टू गिव यू अ वेरी क्विक अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ टोन विद द लिस्ट ऑल्सो. आई वॉन्ट यू टू डू सम हार्ड वर्क ऑन योर ओन. पर जरा जल्दी से मुझे आंसर बताना क्वेश्चन का एवरीवन. प्लीज रिमेंबर 26 जैन के लिए है ये नेशन 25 कूपन कोड. प्लीज यूज इट so that you can get the 25% off. And याद रखना there is a ऐसे thumbs up का sign होगा. So if you press that, a lot of students will get to know about us. So do that if you like our content. And there's a button of called subscribe. If you press that, it would open up a tons and tons of knowledge content for you guys. So do that. It won't cost you a thing. Okay. Alia Hussain, yes. Ashwat Nayak. Scornful means disrespectful. Okay. Scornful is disrespectful. So you go in a very small, cheap car to your millionaire relative. They might be scornful. They might be derisive. They might be disdainful. Right? They might look down upon. Look at this guy. He's driving a cheap car. That's disdainful and derisive. Okay. So let's see. Pragya, Bhumika, Muskan, Arman, हर्ष, सबका आंसर ए है. तृष्णा ने आंसर रिट्रैक्ट कर लिया. आखिरी क्वेश्चन एवरीबॉडी, ज्यादा टाइम है नहीं, प्लीज बी फास्ट. निशा ए. ओके, आई एम गोइंग टू वेट फॉर 10-15 मोर सेकेंड्स. ठीक है. ओके. ए बहुत बढ़िया, शानदार, बहुत बढ़िया. उदेशी ए, प्रीति ए, तृष्णा का भी ए है, माहिता डी, आलिया ए एंड मोविज मलिक बी. अब हो गया टेंशन. ओके, सरवरी डी. आई एम गोइंग टू वेट फॉर 10 more seconds. कोई बात नहीं, जल्दी से बता दो. बनी बनी घोष ए, भूमिका डी, तानिया बी. ओके, कंफ्यूजन हो गया तब तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. कंफ्यूजन तो इज सच अ गुड थिंग है ना. कंफ्यूजन बेसिकली मीन्स दैट यू गाइज आर थिंकिंग. तो मैं आपकी हेल्प कर देता हूँ जल्दी से. द करेक्ट आंसर इज डी फॉर दिल्ली. एंड आई थिंक द फर्स्ट करेक्ट आंसर केम फ्रॉम, second came from Sharwari, I think so. But I'm not sure about the first person who gave the correct answer. So please correct me if I'm wrong. Or Sharwari, was that you who gave the first correct answer? Alia Hussain, it can be. Okay. तो करेक्ट आंसर इज डी फॉर दिल्ली. नाउ थोड़ा सा सरप्राइज हो गया होगा ना, थोड़ा सा झटका लगा होगा, ये क्या हुआ मेरी जिंदगी के साथ, है ना. ओके, सो लेट मी क्विकली टेल यू बिकॉज हमारे पास टाइम नहीं है. Read this entire paragraph from here to here and you would notice, listen to me very carefully, you would notice that this person is not making fun of anyone. Is he? No. Derisive means scornful, mocking, taunting, belittling, disdainful. कहीं मजाक उड़ा रहा है किसी का. What is this guy doing? He is looking at a lot of gold in front of him and he's like, oh my god, इसको मैं मतलब अपने हाथ के सामने है मिलियंस ऑफ डॉलर्स का गोल्ड, काश मुझे मिल जाए. ही इज थिंकिंग, ऑल ऑफ दिस इज गोइंग इन हिज हेड. पढ़ के देखो ध्यान से. आंखों के सामने इतना गोल्ड है, दिमाग खराब हो गया इसका देख के. बट इज ही मेकिंग फन? नॉट एट ऑल. नाउ कैन द टोन बी इमोरल? टोन इज द ऑथर्स एटीट्यूड. व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन इन द ऑथर्स हेड? इमोरलिटी तो है ही नहीं कहीं पे. बस ये देख रहे हो, कह रहे कितना गोल्ड है यार, मजा आ रहा है देख के, मतलब इसको ले जाना कितना आसान होगा. But the author's attitude is not immoral, so C is also very clearly out. Now, speculative is interesting tone. I'll take only 10 seconds. Remember, guys, speculative is when you are getting into a guessing game or predicting game. When you try to predict things or guess, you are speculating. It's always about future. For example, if I do a law degree and then I get into law, and then if I get into judge's position, तो मुझे BMW कार मिलेगी, रेड लाइट मिलेगी गाड़ी के ऊपर लगाने को. That's speculation. You are trying to guess, you are trying to predict. That's speculation. Is that person doing that? No. This person is simply thinking. दिमाग में चल रहा है उसके, इतना सारा गोल्ड है, I mean this is so unbelievable, knocking it off would be so easy. And then he says that I kept on thinking about those gold bars. He's just thinking. That's it. That is why the answer is D for Delhi. That is why, remember everyone, in tone questions, context is very important. Paying attention to words is very important. Paying attention to the degree of words is equally important. And then you have to be very, very clear about the options. If you're not clear, you'll always get wrong answers. Is it clear, everybody? All right. So let me see the comments now. So, Nisha, I hope it is clear now. Yes, है ना. भूमिका को छोटे मोटे झटके लगते रहते हैं. ओके. तनु बिल्कुल सही बात. मूवीज मनी के लिए भी यही सोचा था. प्रज्ञा, very good. Yes, very good. So I hope the point was clear. Thank you so much everyone for joining. I hope you would work on the list that I gave you. ऐसे टाइम पास नहीं करना है, लिस्ट पे काम करना है. And of course, if you like the content, if you want more such sessions, please press like button. कमेंट करके बता सकते हो कमेंट पेज पे कि और कैसे सेशंस चाहिए अगले मंथ. And spread the word, tell your friends if you like our content, subscribe, and Nation 25 याद रखना, coupon code if you want a great discount. Okay, thank you so much.